In this problem, I'm going to help you with 3.3 number 2. So again, where this shows up in your actual homework, who knows? But if you look at the top right-hand corner, it's 3.3.2. So let me click on View an Example because, of course, I'm not going to do the problem. And we have the accompanying frequency distribution represents the square footage of a random sample of 500 houses that are owner-occupied year-round, approximate the mean and standard deviation square footage. So I'm going to copy to my clipboard. I'm going to paste into Excel. And again, I'm not actually going to use Excel. I just want to use Excel as my typing surface because I don't have paper when I'm working on a computer like this. Okay, so here we have our numbers right here, and we have our frequencies. Now the thing about this is that you cannot type in the square footage like you would like to into a calculator. If you tried, it would freak out on you. It doesn't know what you want. It would think you mean 0 minus 499, which would be negative 499. So what you need are class midpoints. And again, does not have to be in Excel. You could be writing this down on a sheet of paper. Either one will work. Okay, so now for the midpoint, remember that the midpoint is the average between consecutive lower class limits. So for this one, I need 0 plus 500, that's right, 500 divided by 2. You take consecutive lower class limits. 0 is the first lower class limit, then 500 is the next lower class limit, because this is really 499.9999999, right? And we don't bother writing it that way, but that's what it is because this is continuous data. So 0 to 500, add them up, divide by 2, you get 250. The next one would be 500 plus 1,000, close parentheses, divided by 2. It would be 750. And of course, there's nothing stopping us from using the calculator to do this. So I could use parentheses, 0 plus 500, close parentheses, divided by 2. Enter. Same thing. Ooh, or you could do alpha F1. See the F1 in green? F1. I pick number 1, which is numerator over denominator, N over D. So number 1. And then I say 0 plus 500 divide by 2. 250. All right, let's do it again for the next one. Alpha F1. And everybody with a new operating system on a TI-84 has this feature. And then you say 500 plus 1,000 over 2 divided by 2, enter, makes 750, and so on. Now you could do it that way and keep going. You could say, oh, okay, 1,000 plus 1,500 divided by 2, 1,500 plus 2,000 divided by 2. However, there's a pattern here. Notice that the class width, which we learn about in Chapter 2, is equal to 500 take away 0, or it's equal to 1,000 take away 500, or whatever. All the numbers that we have here are 500 apart. That means my class width is 500. That's helpful because once I know that this is 500 more than this one, see how those are 500 apart as well? That means that the next number will be 750 plus another 500, right? You could just find 750 plus 500. You can use your calculator even. 750 plus 500. Plus 500 will be the next one. Enter. Plus 500, plus 500. You can see what's happening here, right? So it's going to keep finding all these numbers all the way until you don't need them anymore and you're past the point of your data set. All right, so I am going to find all those numbers. There they are, right? Same numbers you'd find with a calculator. I'm using Excel, so I used a formula. I said take cell B3 here and add 500, and then I just click and drag the formula down. So I go to the bottom right corner, turn it into the plus sign right there, and I drag it down. But if you're not using Excel, don't worry about it. You can just write all the numbers down. Doesn't make any difference. So use your calculator, use Excel, use whatever. Then you go to Stat, Edit, go up and clear, enter. Go over, up, clear, enter. And now you're going to type in your numbers. Right? I'm going to pause. I will be right back. I'm going to type in all these numbers over here, and I'll be right back with that. All right, I have them all typed in. I've got my L1, which are my midpoints, and I've got my frequencies for L2 here. Make this bigger so you can see. So now I need to go to Stat, move to the right to Calculate, pick number 1, one variable stats, Now my data, remember, was in this column here. This was L1 for this column, and this is L2, right? So now I'll actually label it up here, L1, comma, L1, and then comma L2, okay? So now that you see that, you think, oh, okay. So this was the midpoints, that's my data, this is my frequencies. Literally frequency, because it's a frequency distribution. So I want second 1 for my list and second 2 for my frequency list. Go down to calculate and press enter. And there's my mean. My mean is 2447. So the mean is 2447. There's your result. What else do they need us to find here? Let me go back. So done. Oh, and the standard deviation. Okay, so the standard deviation, was this a sample? Yeah, this was a random sample of houses. So the standard deviation is 932.43. It's that SX that's in the middle. That's your standard deviation. So let me just type that up. Standard deviation was approximately 932 point, sorry, I don't remember what it was, 932.432. I don't know how many decimal places they want. Hopefully not more than 3. And there we have it. Don't pay attention to this. They're doing it all by hand. We don't have to do any of it by hand. There we have the standard deviation 932.4 down there. And then we have the mean is 2447 right there. Just on a side note, we probably want units for this. This would be feet, right? Or this is square feet. Square feet. This was the square footage of apartments, I think it was. Yeah, square footage. So it's square feet and square feet. Remember, whatever data, whatever unit your data has, then your mean and your standard deviation are the same units. So if this was square feet for the mean, or excuse me, for the data, this is square feet, then this is square feet, and so the mean is square feet, and so is the standard deviation. They're all the same unit. All right, we're done with that problem. I hope that helps. I'll see you back here for more tutorials.